Ladies, it's time. Time to stop living in the shadows of politeness, self-sacrifice, and waiting for permission. Time to stop being the nice girl who puts everyone else's needs ahead of her own. You were never meant to be a supporting character in someone else's story. You are the creator of your own reality. For too long, we've been told that being nice, agreeable, and accommodating is the path to love, success, and happiness. But has it worked? Has bending over backward for others given you the life you truly desire? Or has it left you exhausted, overlooked, and unfulfilled? The truth is, your world reflects what you assume to be true about yourself. If you believe you must always please others, you will attract people who take advantage of your kindness. But if you dare to step into your power, if you assume the role of the confident, self-assured woman, you will reshape reality itself. So today, I ask you to let go of the nice girl. She has served her purpose. But now it's time to step into your power. Decide that you are worthy of respect. Speak your desires into existence. Set boundaries without apology. And most importantly, assume the identity of the woman who gets what she wants. Because once you do, the world has no choice but to conform to your new self-concept. You were never meant to live at the mercy of others. You were meant to lead, to create, to thrive. And it all starts the moment you stop being the nice girl and start being the powerful woman you were born to be. From a young age, many of us are conditioned to believe that being nice is the highest virtue a woman can possess. We are taught to be agreeable, accommodating, and always considerate of how others feel, often at the expense of our own emotions. The message is clear. Being liked is more important than being respected. And so we make ourselves small. We quiet our voices, suppress our desires, and put the needs of others ahead of our own, believing that this is the path to love, acceptance, and success. But what happens when this pattern of self-sacrifice becomes our identity? We lose ourselves in the process. A nice girl doesn't want to upset anyone, so she bends and molds herself to fit into the expectations of others. She smiles when she doesn't feel like it, agrees when she wants to say no, and offers help even when she is exhausted. Over time, she becomes conditioned to prioritize everyone else while neglecting her own well-being. This constant giving without receiving drains her energy, leaving her emotionally depleted. Yet, instead of recognizing that her kindness is being taken for granted, she convinces herself that if she just tries harder, if she just gives more, people will finally appreciate her. But that appreciation never truly comes, because the world does not reward self-sacrifice, it exploits it. One of the biggest dangers of this mindset is that it attracts the wrong people. When you make it a habit to always be available, always say yes, and always be the one who compromises, you invite relationships that thrive on your willingness to shrink yourself. People will take advantage of your kindness because they know you will not push back. You may find yourself in friendships, relationships, or even workplaces where your generosity is seen as a weakness rather than a strength. And the worst part? You will start to resent the very people you have spent so much time pleasing, not realizing that it was never their fault, it was the role you unconsciously chose to play. This pattern of self-sacrifice also creates an internal war within you. While you outwardly play the role of the nice girl, your soul longs for freedom, for boundaries, for the right to put yourself first. But because you have spent so long ignoring your own needs, you don't even know how to ask for what you want. You hesitate to speak up, fearing that you will be seen as selfish or ungrateful. You feel guilty for wanting more, for desiring respect, for saying no. The truth is, you were never meant to suppress your needs for the comfort of others. Yet, society has made you believe that any assertion of self-interest is wrong. But what if being nice isn't the answer? What if you were never meant to be agreeable at the cost of your happiness? The world does not open doors for the people who wait patiently with a smile. It moves for those who step forward with certainty. The moment you realize that your self-worth is not determined by how much you give, but by how much you value yourself, everything changes. The girl who once sacrificed herself for others will no longer recognize the woman who stands in her power, unapologetic and unwavering. The reality you experience is nothing more than a mirror of the beliefs you hold about yourself. If you see yourself as unworthy, the world will continuously provide evidence to reinforce that assumption. If you believe you must always be the nice girl to be loved or accepted, you will attract situations that demand your self-sacrifice. Every interaction, every relationship, every opportunity or lack thereof is shaped by the way you perceive yourself. You are not at the mercy of external forces. You are the one shaping them through your self-concept. Think about the times you felt invisible or taken for granted. Was it because the world is unfair? Or was it because deep down you believed that being overly accommodating was the only way to be valued? Your subconscious mind does not question your assumptions, it simply manifests them. If you assume you are secondary, the world will place you second. If you assume you must prove your worth through constant giving, you will encounter people who only take. But the moment you change your self-perception, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to reflect that new belief. This is why confidence is not just a mindset. It is a force that bends reality in your favor. When you assume the identity of a woman who is respected, desired, and in control of her life, people begin to treat you accordingly. It is not magic. It is the simple truth that people respond to the energy you emit. If you walk into a room expecting to be overlooked, you will shrink into the background. But if you enter knowing you are someone of value, your presence alone will command attention. Breaking free from the nice girl mindset means rewriting your self-concept at its core. Instead of believing that being agreeable is your greatest strength, start seeing your boundaries as your power. Instead of assuming you must work twice as hard to earn love, recognize that you are already worthy simply because you exist. Every assumption you hold is a seed planted in your reality, and what you water will grow. Choose to nurture the beliefs that serve you. So if you do not like the way the world is treating you, don't fight the circumstances. Change the way you see yourself. You do not need permission to step into your power. You only need to assume the role of the woman who already has everything she desires. Because the moment you do, everything you experience, your relationships, opportunities, and even the way people treat you is a direct reflection of what you assume to be true about yourself and the world. You are not a passive participant in life, waiting for things to change. You are the creator. The thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you hold, and the identity you assume all shape the reality unfolding before you. If you have lived as the nice girl, constantly putting others before yourself, it is because on some level you accepted that role. But just as you unconsciously created that reality, you have the power to reshape it. Many people believe that circumstances dictate their lives, that luck, fate, or the actions of others determine their success or failure. But the truth is, circumstances only reflect what you internally accept as possible. If you believe you must struggle to be noticed, the world will prove you right. If you see yourself as someone who always gets what she wants, reality will align to confirm that. Life does not happen to you, it responds to you. The moment you decide to think, feel, and act as the powerful woman you were meant to be, the world must shift to match that assumption. But here's where most people hesitate. They want to see proof before they believe. They say, "I'll feel confident once I get the respect I deserve." Or, "I'll stop being the nice girl when people start treating me better." But creation does not work that way. You must first assume the new identity before the world can reflect it. If you want to be respected, you must believe you are already worthy of respect. If you want to be loved for who you truly are, you must first love yourself without condition. The world is simply a mirror. It can only show you what you project onto it. This is why stepping into your power is not about forcing external change. It is about internal transformation. When you stop seeing yourself as someone who must prove her worth and instead embrace your natural value, the world will respond differently. People will start treating you with more admiration, not because they suddenly changed, but because you did. The energy you radiate will dictate how others interact with you. You are always creating, whether consciously or unconsciously. The question is, are you creating a reality that serves you or one that limits you? So take back control. Stop waiting for someone to validate you, to choose you, or to give you permission to step into your greatness. Assume the role of the woman who already has everything she desires. Feel it, embody it, live it, and watch as the world bends to match the reality you have created from within. For too long, you have measured your worth through the eyes of others. You have sought approval, praise, and acceptance as if they were the currency that determined your value. You have bent yourself into versions that fit what others want, afraid that if you step too far out of line, if you say no, if you take up space, if you demand more, you will be rejected. But here's the truth. The moment you seek validation from outside yourself, you give away your power. You allow others to dictate your worth, and in doing so, you become trapped in an endless cycle of seeking and never truly finding. External validation is a mirage. It feels good in the moment, when someone compliments you, when they approve of your choices, when they acknowledge your efforts. But it is fleeting, because the second that validation disappears, so does your sense of security. You start doubting yourself, wondering if you're good enough, if you're likable enough, if you're doing things the right way. And so you seek more approval to fill the void, never realizing that the emptiness exists because you are looking for something outside that can only be built from within. The problem with relying on external validation is that it makes you dependent. When you base your confidence on how others perceive you, you will constantly adjust yourself to meet their expectations. You will shrink when they disapprove. You will hesitate when they doubt you. You will play small to keep them comfortable. But what about your comfort? What about your desires? What about the version of you that doesn't need to be liked, but instead commands respect simply by existing as her authentic self? The moment you stop seeking external validation is the moment you set yourself free. You no longer need to explain yourself, defend your choices, or beg for acknowledgement. You become a force, moving through life with an unshakable knowing that your worth was never up for debate. You validate yourself. You approve of yourself. And in doing so, you attract people and experiences that reflect that confidence. The world stops controlling you because you have taken control of yourself. So let go of the need for permission. Stop waiting for others to tell you that you are enough. You were enough before they ever had an opinion. The only validation that truly matters is the one you give yourself. And when you start living from that place, the world will have no choice but to recognize the power that has always been yours. Confidence is not something you wait to feel, it is something you decide to become. Too often, women believe that confidence comes after success, after external approval, after they have proven themselves. But that belief keeps you stuck, constantly waiting for permission to step into your power. The truth is, confidence is not given to you by the world. It is something you cultivate within yourself. It starts with a choice. The choice to see yourself as powerful, capable, and worthy without needing anyone else to confirm it. Embodying confidence is not about arrogance or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about recognizing that you are already enough. It's about carrying yourself with certainty, speaking with authority, and moving through life as though you already have everything you desire. Because when you act as if something is already true, the world begins to reflect it back to you. People respond to the energy you bring. If you walk into a room unsure of yourself, the world will treat you accordingly. But when you enter knowing you belong, knowing you are valuable, the world has no choice but to recognize it. Think of the most confident, self-assured version of yourself. How does she carry herself? How does she speak? How does she respond when someone challenges her? She does not shrink. She does not over-explain. She does not lower her standards to be more palatable. She stands firm, unshaken, because she knows exactly who she is. She does not chase, she attracts. She does not beg for love, respect, or attention because she knows she is already deserving of them. She walks into every situation with the quiet, undeniable energy of someone who knows she belongs. But here's the secret. You don't need to wait until you feel like her to start acting like her. You become her by stepping into her shoes right now. Confidence is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Speak with certainty, even if your voice shakes. Stand tall, even when self-doubt tries to creep in. Stop apologizing for taking up space. Stop explaining yourself to those who don't respect you. Show up as the version of you who knows she is unstoppable, and soon that will be your natural state. The world does not shape you, you shape the world. And when you embody the confident, self-assured version of yourself, the universe has no choice but to match your energy. You will attract opportunities, respect, and admiration, not because you begged for them, but because you simply became the person who was always meant to receive them. Setting boundaries is not rude, selfish, or unkind. It is the highest form of self-respect. For too long, you have been conditioned to believe that saying no makes you difficult, that asserting your needs makes you demanding, and that prioritizing yourself makes you selfish. But the truth is, the only people who get upset when you enforce boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. A woman who knows her worth does not allow guilt to keep her trapped in cycles of overgiving and over-explaining. She sets boundaries and does so unapologetically. A boundary is not a request, it is a standard. It is you deciding what is and isn't acceptable in your life. If you do not define your limits, the world will define them for you. If you constantly say yes when you mean no, people will assume you have no limits. If you tolerate disrespect, it will continue. If you keep giving without requiring reciprocity, you will always be left empty. Boundaries are the invisible lines that teach people how to treat you, and if you do not enforce them, you will find yourself drained, resentful, and unfulfilled. The biggest mistake many women make when setting boundaries is feeling the need to justify them. But your boundaries are not up for debate. You do not owe explanations for why you refuse to be available 24/7, why you demand respect, why you will not tolerate toxic behavior. A confident woman does not beg for people to honor her limits. She states them once, and if they are not respected, she walks away. She does not feel guilty for protecting her energy because she knows that when she stands firm, she attracts people who value and respect her. Setting boundaries will not always be comfortable. People who have benefited from your people-pleasing will push back. They will call you difficult, selfish, or ungrateful. Let them. That discomfort is a small price to pay for reclaiming your time, energy, and peace. You must be willing to let go of those who refuse to honor your standards. Because the moment you stand firm, the right people, those who truly respect you, will rise to meet you. You do not exist to make others comfortable at the cost of your well-being. You are not here to be everything to everyone. You are here to honor yourself first. So stop apologizing for protecting your energy. Stop explaining your limits to those who refuse to respect them. Set your boundaries with confidence and watch how your world transforms. Every time you speak, you are either affirming the reality you want or reinforcing the one you wish to escape. If you constantly say, "I always get taken advantage of," or "nothing ever works out for me," you are declaring that as your truth, and life will reflect it back to you. But when you shift your language and boldly state, "I am respected, I am powerful, and I always get what I desire," you are setting the foundation for a new reality to unfold. You do not just wait for things to change, you speak them into existence. Many people underestimate the power of their words because they think speaking something into existence means just saying it once and hoping it happens. But true manifestation requires repetition, belief, and conviction. It means refusing to speak in a way that contradicts what you want. It means no longer saying, "I'm not good enough," or "love is hard to find," because those words create barriers in your mind. Instead, you affirm, "I am worthy of love, I am magnetic to success, I am in control of my reality." The more you declare something with certainty, the more your mind, your energy, and the world around you begin to shift. Your words also shape the way people treat you. When you speak with uncertainty, "I guess I'll try," or "maybe I deserve this," people pick up on that lack of confidence and mirror it back to you. But when you speak with power, "I deserve the best," "I expect respect," "I always get what I want," you command a different level of response. You do not attract what you wish for, you attract what you believe you are worthy of. And the way you speak is a direct reflection of that belief. Speaking your desires into existence also requires eliminating doubt from your vocabulary. If you say, "I want success, but I don't know if it will happen," you are sending mixed signals, and the universe will respond with the same uncertainty. Instead, speak as if what you desire is already yours. Say, "It is happening now. Opportunities are flowing to me. I am already successful." Your subconscious does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. It only follows the instructions you give it. So give it the right ones. Speak with power. Speak with certainty. Do not wait for evidence. Your words create the evidence. Declare what you want, refuse to speak against it, and watch as the world rearranges itself to align with the reality you have claimed. The moment you decide that your voice carries authority, it does. The moment you declare that your desires are already yours, they are. The nice girl persona is a cage disguised as kindness. It teaches you that your value lies in being agreeable, accommodating, and self-sacrificing. It convinces you that as long as you are pleasant, easygoing, and never too demanding, you will be loved, accepted, and protected. But that is a lie. The world does not reward women for being excessively nice. It takes advantage of them. The more you prioritize pleasing others over honoring yourself, the more you will find yourself exhausted, unappreciated, and overlooked. It is time to let go of the nice girl act and step into your true power. Being nice in the way society expects often means suppressing your voice. It means nodding in agreement when you want to object, smiling when you feel disrespected, and saying yes when every fiber of your being wants to say no. You silence your needs out of fear. Fear of being disliked, of being labeled difficult, of losing relationships. But what is the cost of this silence? You lose yourself. You abandon your own desires for the comfort of others. And worst of all, you teach people that your feelings are secondary, that your boundaries are flexible, that you are someone who can be walked over. Letting go of the nice girl persona does not mean becoming cruel, rude, or insensitive. It means becoming real, It means prioritizing your needs without guilt, standing firm in your boundaries without apology, and speaking your truth without fear. It means replacing forced politeness with self-respect, blind obedience with discernment, and approval-seeking with self-contravention. A woman who has let go of the nice girl act is not mean. She is simply no longer controlled by the need to please, and because she respects herself first, others learn to respect her too. The moment you stop seeking approval through niceness, you reclaim your power. You no longer bend yourself into a shape that fits someone else's expectations. You no longer tolerate mistreatment just to keep the peace. You no longer stay small to make others comfortable. Instead, you take up space, assert yourself with confidence, and choose authenticity over likability. Some people may not like this version of you, and that is fine, because the right people will. The people who truly value you will appreciate your strength, not just your sweetness. So release the need to be the nice girl. Stop shrinking yourself to be more digestible. You were not put on this earth to be liked. You were put here to be powerful, to be respected, and to live on your own terms. The real you is far greater than any role you were taught to play. Let go of the performance and step fully into the woman you were always meant to be. You were never meant to live your life seeking permission, approval, or validation. You were never meant to shrink yourself to fit into a mold that was never designed for your greatness. The world has conditioned you to believe that being nice, accommodating, and self-sacrificing is the key to love and success. But that narrative was never meant to serve you. It was meant to keep you small. Now you know better. Now you see the truth. Your reality is shaped by the way you see yourself. The moment you decide you are worthy, powerful, and deserving of more, the world will align to reflect that. No more bending to fit the expectations of others. No more diluting your voice to make people comfortable. No more waiting for someone else to choose you. You choose yourself. You validate yourself. You command the respect, love, and success that are already yours by divine right. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be powerful. So stand tall, speak boldly, and move through this world as the woman who knows exactly who she is. The moment you do, everything will begin to shift in your favor. This is your time. Step into it unapologetically.